Hello. I got two different clay putty things, and I don't know if they will mix. But I'm gonna try and see if they mix. Maybe they will. Who knows? I have to get that. They're real cold right now, both of them. But if I hold them in my hand long enough, it will melt a little bit. And then see if I can mix those together. It's a nice sunset outside, absolutely gorgeous. And yesterday I was studying holistic treatments for different things, well-being, treatment against exhaustion and depression and all of this kind of stuff. And I came across very important documentary films, which I posted also on Facebook for everyone to go and watch those. Those are amazing documentary films made by amazing people who were searching for holistic medicine, and some people had illnesses where the physicians didn't know what it was, like unknown illnesses and immune problems and all kinds of things, and weight loss, and they didn't know what to do about it. And they researched holistic healing and just read everything they could find, and they discovered that it is very important to touch one's body, bare body or bare feet, onto the ground, onto the earth. That means we have to touch either with our hand or our feet, bare feet. We have to stand completely on the ground of the earth. The earth could have a stone cover or stone pavement or a cement pavement. A cement that is made out of limestone or rock mix, so that doesn't contain anything synthetic, so that doesn't contain any blacktop tar from the petroleum industry, from raw oil or something like this, so that there is no oil particles or plastic particles, because those create an insulation. And what we do is, when we stand on, what people do is they stand on the ground with shoes on, and we usually have shoes on that have a petroleum based rubber plastic type of material. Okay, so our shoe soles are made out of a petroleum side product that creates an insulation from the ground, and this creates a huge problem. That causes such a huge problem for the human species and people have not ever been thinking about this. No, I mean, the vast majority of people have not been thinking about this. They see we're protecting our feet from thorns and glass and other chemicals and different things, and protect our feet from stubbing our toes or hurting ourselves, and gives more comfort and when we're standing or walking or running, and that's all that all has its place, of course, but the problem comes in when our shoe soles are not creating a connection between us and the ground. That's where the problem comes in. So let's see if this mixes. I don't think it does. So I think these are two different materials, but we'll see. So, and this here also contains, I think, polyesters or polyoils or something, like some kind of, there's synthetic things in it that are not natural. So no, it doesn't seem to be mixing, but that's okay. It's okay, I'm mixing it anyway. So I love this stuff. It's gorgeous. Oh, it's nice. Yes, this is very extraterrestrial. From outer space is this. Yes. So the shoes, I love my shoes. I wear MBT shoes, and I absolutely love MBT shoes. Those are the best so far. They could have the better foot outlining I would make shoes that have the foot outlining of the Birkenstock shoes, the actual foot shape, but then with the rocker bottom and with really, really amazing amazing rubber type of material. But what needs to happen is we need to create a grounding wire inside of the shoe sole. So the shoe sole should have, maybe it does mix. That would be amazing. So the rocker bottom sole, like this, rocker bottom, and then you kind of walk like this, like on clouds, and it needs to have a grounding wire or several grounding wires going through the sole with grounding spots on the sole that will touch the raw ground. Okay, so that's what we need to have. Very, very important. And they should not be making roads out of the black tar from the oil industry, okay, because that causes an insulation. And we need to have the grounding. And the Tesla cars are made with a solid tire. Those are very expensive tires because, of course, they are solid rubber material. And they can't break, you can't, if you drive over a nail, it's not gonna hurt the car or the tire very much. You won't even notice it, and you can later on pull that nail out and it wouldn't have bothered it very much. There may be a little hole in it, but that doesn't bother it very much. So it can even be patched, but it will never get a flat tire, and you will never get stuck anywhere. You will never need a spare tire actually to bring along. So that's the future also for motor vehicles, and of course electric, solar, solar skin of the motor vehicle, and then the fully solid tires with an all year round tire profile to prevent the car from sliding, slipping on ice and stuff like that. Tires that will work for every weather condition, including deep snow and ice and all of that, or slushy material, or like hail, those kind of things, or sudden rain when the road is slightly oily or something like this, where a lot of people have accidents, and a lot of people have also been not driving very responsibly, and then they slide and stuff like this. So those tires prevent these kind of accidents. I'm amazed that this is mixing. This is actually mixing. I am amazed about this. I didn't know these two things were mixing, because one is a Play-Doh imitation, and the other one is a putty slime material. So I didn't know that they were actually mixing. This is super interesting. Oh my gosh. Now it's starting to match my artwork. Absolutely fantastic. I love it. Absolutely love it. Gorgeous. And then I can make a sculpture or so out of it. I'm making an artwork right now called the Trump Tower. I bought, when we were on the road trip, I bought a tweezer, an eyebrow tweezer, because I need one in the van also when we're going on road trips, and going back, I need to tweeze it out. And I got it at the Dollar Tree store, but it came in some kind of like a teenage girl kind of unicorn package. Also with a small fingernail clipper, which is nice, and with a fingernail file. And what did they do? They plastered that fingernail file with a glitter material, and I'm against glitter material, but I am a responsible glitter owner. If I bought it for the tweezers, but so what I'm gonna do is with the glitter, it's basically incidental that I got the glitter, but what I'm gonna do is I'm going to embed that glitter file into the Trump Tower that I have upstairs. So, and I am going to, first of all, I'm going to embed that on one side with the glue and stick that onto the Trump Tower, which is also made out of packaging material. And on the other side, the glitter side, that I'm going to cover with Elmer's glue, like real thick cover on it, so that there's no glitter particle that can come off, so that it will be completely embedded in the glue and in that artwork. So, and then in that way it can stay like this and have like then it has the glitter facade, sort of, And this is awesome how this mixes. I can't believe it. This is so amazing. This is so much fun. So, okay, and I'm gonna make this here also into something that will go onto the Trump Tower as well. I'll figure it out. Maybe I'll make a Donald sculpture out of this. Or I can actually make the Donald Hillary drone that I wrote about in my science fiction novel, the AGI Project. That's on Blogger, so you can read it. Free sci-fi novel, has about 100 pages or 110, something like that. and I designed the Donald Hillary drone. It is actually like a Zeppelin, and then on both ends of the Zeppelin comes out the bust, but a bust only goes up to the chest of one is Donald and one is Hillary, and they both look in the opposite directions, with the arms also on the side, and the facing, one facing this direction, one facing that direction, like this sort of, and I don't know if I can actually get arms out of this, coming out of this too, but I will see. This is probably gonna crack real badly once this dries, but I always fill that in with a caulking type of material, so, and that helps. So probably embed that somewhere on that 3D collage that I'm making upstairs. So that would be really, really nice. And this is not some kind of caricature that is supposed to, usually people make caricatures because they're making fun of politicians. I'm making this in honor of them because I like them, and I don't know, I think the stuff about Hillary Clinton, that I think all of these things are lies. That that what they said about Hillary Clinton, what she's supposed to have said about Julian Assange, and I think those are just evil lies. I don't believe it. I didn't like Huma Abedin. I didn't like her campaign managers, the way they handled it. I had to block her, and I didn't like that she had basically sold herself to the Democratic Party like this, and it's like you're either with us or you're like you can just go home, sort of like that, So they kind of coerce people so badly. It's like they don't give people any options at all. There's no freedom at all in her campaign and in her political work. Everything is like is more than 50% compromised. It's very sad, awfully sad, that it has to be that way, that people are in that kind of situation politically in this country. And also Donald Trump too, even though he has his own money, they can kick him out anytime if he doesn't conform himself to a certain degree, at least, So there is not total freedom. If it was for Donald Trump alone, or if it was for Hillary Clinton alone, they would be on the same page. They would be environmental. They would be helping Elon Musk. They will support Solar City. They will create green jobs. That's what Hillary Clinton wanted to do. That's why she was slandered so badly, because the oil industry slandered her. They pay market psychologists to slander these people. But the public, they only hear what's on the news, and then they go by what's on the news, and they believe the peer pressure and the sneaky lies, and they believe all of these slanders and all of this fakeness. They believe all of that, and they think they better conform to this, or they're going to be ridiculed, or they're going to be not liked. So they will go by that, and they will accept that, and they will repost it, and they will talk the same way, and then it perpetuates itself, and they know how to make people afraid psychologically to repeat all of these kind of things. So my Hillary Donald drone is a piece of art, even though just mentally it's a mental creation that I had never designed actually. So I'm designing this now for the first time. The Hillary Donald drone. Somehow like this, somewhat like that. And then has propellers on top of their heads, probably, that has to have propellers. So otherwise it's not gonna take off. It's really nice. So I love Donald Trump. Yeah, I love Hillary Clinton too. And it is infinitely sad that the corporate agenda has figured out many corrupt ways of sabotaging their campaigns. And so they figured, when it was between Hillary and Donald, they figured Hillary would do much more, would be able to do much more in terms of green energy. So that's why they sabotaged her and not Donald, because if it was a matter between him and her, so they'll figure they'll take Donald instead. So, but now it was a matter between Donald having shown us that he is on the side of green and making the world a better place, right? So now they're very worried that he will go green full circle and full force for the next 4 years. So they made sure to prevent the next 4 years, and they don't shy away from putting a virus into the world to prevent Donald Trump from winning. They don't worry about getting a civil war started and enormous hatred and division to prevent Donald Trump from winning. They shy away from nothing, from no tactic at all. Okay, this is really a war on democracy. This whole thing is. So it's a war really against anyone who's responsible and caring and compassionate as Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton are. This is a war against Elon Musk, against anyone who cares and wants to make the world a better place, who has the potential of taking the power away from corrupt corporations, from ExxonMobil, from the oil industry, Halliburton, Shell, or the weapon manufacturers, Boeing, Lockheed Martin. They're terrified of politicians who want to make the world a better place, who will just change the economy to a green economy, and that will completely undermine their oil exploitation and exploitation in general. That's what's going on. So they slander those people that are caring, and the public believes all of that slander. The public believes it all. And it's very sad. It's very, very sad. That's why I'm saying, what you do in your private time does eventually have something to do, ultimately with an election outcome. If you lean back and let other people just go ahead and slander and bully, and then you even believe it and you even pitch into it, you're creating the wrong election outcome, and you're creating a miserable world, not just for those people that you are told to hate, but for yourselves as well. Okay, it will affect every one of us. If the economy is gonna go down the drain, it will affect all of us. Okay? Guaranteed. You're not going to keep your free health care services and all of this kind of stuff. You're not going to continue to cash in on SSI and welfare and all of these governmental services that you're getting. Because eventually, if the economy is ruined, and that's what Biden and Harris will do, then it will affect you too. Okay, so, but most people don't know this. And so it really matters what you do with your private time, whether you are researching, doing a lot of research and watching things with open eyes and with a critical view, or you just accept everything that you're being told by the large media corporations, the large news corporations. So it's a communal thing, you know. So if everyone is like that, then that's what's going to happen. Then they will facilitate the wrong people to get in and create a complete economic collapse, and not just an ecological collapse. It will create civil war. It will create violence, more street violence, more hatred, more fear, more stress, more illness caused by the stress. It's just, it affects, like it has, it's a domino effect that goes into every into every area of society, you know. So I do research on all kinds of things to make the world a better place. I share with you what I know 100% to be true, and I care very deeply, very, very concerned about all of this. Okay. It has caused me nightmares, okay, and a lot of stress, but I don't let that ruin my mental state or my health. I have a lot of knowledge in holistic healing, and I use my knowledge about holistic healing on myself. I really put this to use in my own life. So I really walk my talk. I really do. I live green. We do composting. I put the nutrients back into the soil. I make artwork out of packaging materials. I reuse. I reutilize everything that I can reutilize. It saves money too. I live in a smart way. I used to live in a very reckless and a wasteful way because I didn't know it better in the past. But I learned now how to live in a very productive way that saves money, and that saves our health, and that saves the environment and the animals, and that makes things better. Okay, at least here on our enclave of Garden Eden, you know, everyone can create this Garden Eden and enclave. Everyone can do it. Okay, everyone can make their lives better in that way. It is very difficult to make faces out of this, because this greenhouse doesn't have enough surface area here to make actually face, so it looks more like a fish than a human. But later on I can paint it and make it look more like a person. This is just an abstract kind of thing, Hillary. Donald drone. So I learned about grounding on the internet, and it makes perfect 100% sense. And when I got up today, I didn't want to do it last night in the dark, going out there, but when I got up today, I took my socks off, I put my Crocs shoes on, I have winter clothes on and everything, and I also had this hood on here. I'm gonna put the hood on right now. It's kind of cold. Had this hood on, my big winter pants, double pants, jacket, big sweater that I made myself, but without socks I went out there. I took my Croc shoes off and barefoot stepped onto the grass. It was ice cold, but I did it like the Iceman, Wim Hof. I stood there for about 10 minutes on the grass and did a little bit qigong, yoga, stretching and stuff like that, and breathing. And it felt really incredibly good. And then I was thinking, so how can we make this even better, where I can stay outside in the winter time longer on the grass? And in the summertime I'm always out there on the grass, lying there on the grass and meditating and making videos even, and my foot massage videos and all of that. But in the winter time it's obviously very cold. It doesn't snow here very much. It's very rare when it snows. It's very rare when it has ice and gets below freezing. Very, very rare. But still it's really, really cold. It's like, I don't know how cold it is outside. Probably 35, 40 degrees Fahrenheit, something. That's very cold. So cold, very, very bladder infection cold, and yet I did it. I had my feet on the grass, felt incredibly good, and my feet were not getting cold, they were staying warm and circulated, and my hands too. And then after about 10 minutes, it was getting a little bit too cold. I put my Croc shoes on, went back in the house and put my big winter boots back on. And I decided I'm gonna do this every day now for at least 10 minutes. And I also want to put one of the greenhouses out there on the grass. There's one space there by the fence where it's level, and I want to put one of the greenhouses that Paul had used as his bathhouse for his jacuzzi. I want to put that, and you can't use the jacuzzi in the winter time because it takes too long to heat up. So I would like to put that greenhouse. It's just like a greenish rubber sheet that goes on top of a frame. So, and it's lightweight to carry over there. We can carry it over there without even taking it apart. We can anchor it onto the fence and it can stay over there, and then I can go in there even in the winter time. It'll be much warmer inside, and I can sit there. I can bring one of my chairs out there, and I can have my feet on the grass. So then we just need to water the lawn inside of the greenhouse frequently, do that every day, I don't know, probably doesn't need very much watering even in the winter time. So, but maybe for 10 minutes, and we can even route the hot water hose with my hot water shower nozzle, which I have used in the past a lot out there in the driveway when I was still using my bathtub. But I don't use the bathtub anymore. The plug is way too difficult to screw onto it. So that didn't work out very well. But I can bring that hot water hose with the hot water shower nozzle that has all kinds of settings, kinds of spray settings, so I have it on shower, and that feels really good, and I can bring that into the greenhouse, and I can even lie down naked on the grass inside of the greenhouse. I can put something over it on one side so that the neighbors can't see me, and that would be awesome. And I can actually shower myself with hot water in there while I'm lying on the grass. That would be really, really, really healing and really grounding. Okay, that will be almost as good as going into hot springs. So I recommend to people to do this as well. I heard that it is incredibly important to do the grounding process every single day. Okay, for at least 10 minutes. That is the absolute minimum. So, but it would be better to do the grounding and be really in contact with your body, not with something like this on. You know, if I was to lie down with this jacket and that winter pants, it would not ground me very much. You have to have clothes on that are natural fibers, that are all cotton, and I don't have any winter clothes that are all cotton. They're usually made out of something that is water repellent. So, and that has its place, of course. But if we want to get grounded, it's very, very useful to wear only natural fiber clothes. And there aren't very many winter outfits that are made out of natural fiber like cotton or rayon or linen or something like that, or whatever, you know, recycled or whatever kind of plant fiber clothing materials that are available. So not very much out there that is padded, you know, so, and even has a natural padding material, insulation material inside. So that would be also very good to make. So that would be another clothing line, another clothing line that one could create, for example, to the grounding clothing line, you know. We can call it the grounding clothing line, and then we can sit with that also on the grass if the grass is not wet. Usually the grass is wet in the winter, and it was very wet when I went out there and put my feet on the grass. It felt really good, particularly when it's wet. Then the grass feels particularly good and particularly grounding. So I highly recommend this to everyone. Sandy and everyone out there, everyone who is way too much on the internet or in the house, or, you know, insulated from the earth. Usually we don't pay much attention to it. You know, we're living indoors, and we have rubber shoes on, and we're not getting grounded anymore. So there's a whole science now that is dealing with this, and that has verified this absolutely 100%. Okay, there was a little girl. She had a lot of health problems. The mother was very concerned, and the mother actually discovered on her own that her daughter was getting a whole lot better every time and that was when the daughter was an infant. When she was holding the daughter in her arm and standing barefoot on the grass. That's when the daughter was doing the best, because then the earth grounding was going into both of them. And the dogs are always better off with this because they don't wear shoes. The dogs go into the garden, they get grounded. So, and that's also why the dogs love it. They love to go for walks. They love to go hiking because they feel it instinctively. They like to do this. But then they also have to come back in the house, and they have to get warmed up, and they have to go on the couch, and they have to be covered with a blanket, and all of this. Very, very important. But intermittently go into the garden with the dogs and get the dogs grounded at least. And then also, take your shoes off for at least 10 minutes per day and put your feet on either the grass or the cement. If you have a cement patio or a slab or a cement parking lot, which we have, and a cemented driveway that is not made out of blacktop, not made out of some kind of petroleum particles, but made out of just like a sandstone, limestone, rock type of material, cement. Okay, and you can feel it. Well, you can feel it yourself. You can tell whether it is all natural materials, stone, sand material. Okay, so that the cement is made out of. And then you will get grounded, So, and it's really good. It's actually not so good to put the feet into a kiddie pool, because the kiddie pool is made out of a plastic material. It felt good in the summer. I like doing this. I was sitting out there with my office chair. I had my feet in the kiddie pool. But it doesn't get you very grounded, because the kiddie pool is made out of a plastic material which insulates you from the earth. So the best pool to have is actually a cement pool. That's just a cement basin or something like this, and then fill that with water. Preferably fill it with hot water and put your feet in. Or if it's a large tub, you can go into it with your whole body and soak in it and enjoy that very much. And that's the total grounding process. When I was in the hot springs, naked, looking into the sky, that was the ultimate grounding process, because I was connected to the earth. In hot sulfur water with mud underneath me, that was the ultimate grounding process, and it felt so healing and so amazing. Okay, and that is the direction that we need to go into. Okay, I will make more videos about this. I will make another video tomorrow and talk about this in more detail, about all these things that will spring out of this information that will have to be done in the future to create grounding process, to make our lives more grounded. The more we spend grounded to Mother Earth in any form, whether it is you have a metal tape on your bed that is connected to a wire that is stuck into the earth, which some people are doing. That alone has saved people's lives. Has saved people from immune problems. It's absolutely incredible. I'll go find the video. I'll put the link under the video. Absolutely incredible. This one lady has made an incredible documentary film. Okay. And there's another guy who made a real outstanding documentary film too. Both of them made really, really, really important documentary films. And so I'll try to find both of them. I'll put the links under the video. There's a whole lot of information about grounding. Now more and more people are getting into it. I highly recommend it. It can save your life. It can save your animal's life. It can save your daughter's life, your son's life. Okay, you guys take care. Bye-bye.